G'day everyone, here we are again working on the Freak Motor Dyno, looking for that missing 170 horsepower. I didn't film an intro for this one because I didn't think there'd be a second video, but here we are. First up, we'll take off some more of the damaged parts and replace them, and also take off the aftermarket bits, replace them with stock ones ready for the roadworthy inspection. So let's rip into it. I had a few issues with my GoPro along the way, and I've lost a little bit of footage somewhere between filming this and editing it. I put out some wanted ads on Facebook groups and that sort of thing, looking for replacement parts, and I was lucky enough to find someone locally that had the same bars that I was looking for, and snap them up for a pretty good price. I don't have the footage of me fitting them, but yeah, I changed them over, and we don't have any more issues with the bars. Alright, so that's everything back together, ready for the first inspection. I'll bang a battery in it, make sure it still turns over, but then we should be good for inspection. Starts, runs. Sounds horrible. But we've got some battery issues, so the battery's absolutely cactus. I'm gonna have to get a new one of them this week. But yeah, starts, runs, it's quiet. Disgustingly quiet. So yeah, apart from that, there was a rattle, there was some stuff on the bench, but also this bracket here, there's a little piece that slots in the back, comes up, and then you bolt that down to mount the exhaust. So I need to get a new one of them. I can't find the one that I have anywhere. But that's pretty much it. I'll get this thing off the stand, take a few photos to do the paperwork and compliance side of things. But that's all the repairs and the boring stuff done. I am going to have to, at some stage, work out something to do with indicators back here. I don't think these ones are going to pass inspection. I know they're not going to pass inspection. They'll pass the initial one. They won't pass a roadworthy. So just while I'm working out what I'm going to do there, they can stay on. But yeah, that's the boring stuff done, and all the repair work. So we'll get all that through, and then we can put it back on the stand and start putting some of the good gear back on it.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
G'day, it's been a couple of weeks since last did any work on the street bob here. It's had both of its inspections done now and passed them, so now we can sort of get into putting it back to how it was. We had to put the pipes on it for the roadworthy, for the noise test. Interestingly enough, they still tested the noise even with standard pipes, but you know, that's what they do. I've had to roll the bars back just to get the bar to seat height through, didn't want to raise any eyebrows, and put some indicators on the struts there, so a little bit of funky stuff going on with the wiring. Did have a reflector just jammed in there just to get through, and that's off now. So yeah, we'll put those pipes back on it. I've got a dyno run in the morning booked in to just see what power figure this makes, because I can't confirm exactly what's going on inside the motor here. Don't know what sort of cam it is. You know, the guy was pretty unresponsive when I asked him, and I don't really know if yeah, let's just say that I don't know and I can't confirm it, so we'll run it up on the dyno. First things first, we'll get the pipes on, then I'll start doing a little bit of the roadworthy kind of stuff, and we should be good to go for the morning. Right, so we've got the exhaust on. I'll plug the O2 sensor in a sec. We'll pull these blinkers off. Need to get under the seat to do that. So that's how I get the O2 sensor in. And we'll do that next. I removed the seat, then disconnected the wiring for the rear indicators from the wiring harness, then replaced the seat. The bolts that I used for the rear indicators were longer than the quick detach pillion bracket, so to get them out I had to jack the bike up, drop the shocks and the swing arm to get me a little bit more clearance behind the tyre, and then pull the bolts out that way. Alright, so in terms of major repairs, everything's all done now. All the exhaust is hooked back up. We've got to ended up putting a new battery in it because the other one was a bit cactus. Got the rear blinkers off, shocks are back on, she's back on the ground. I've forgotten what these pipes sound like. The shed's closed, so this is going to be bloody loud, but yeah, she's still loud, didn't get any quieter, so that's all good. Alright, I'm going to throw it into the trailer, and then tomorrow morning, first thing, I'm going to head to the dyno and see what kind of numbers she punches out. Stay tuned.
The next morning.
Alright, so we're down here at the dyno. House is just punching in some of the data. We've got it all strapped down. 170 horsepower. It's a big target, but we'll see if it makes it. So yeah, we'll get it fired up and get this thing rolling and see what it does. May have a look at the AFRs and that sort of thing, if it needs tidying up, but yeah, I think pretty much just going to pull a number and see what it does. Righto, so we just ran it up. It did 101 horsepower and 106 torque. So, I mean, not knowing what's going on with this motor, House ran it up on the dyno, so what do you reckon in terms of work that it's had done?
I'd say it's at least got a set of cams in it, maybe a bump in compression slightly, possibly stock heads, but a ported throttle body. Seeing that you've had the breather off and had a quick look, the chain seems okay. There's probably room for improvement, for sure, but it's otherwise definitely not the 170 we're hoping for.
Yeah, so yeah, we did confirm a couple of those things. We put a bore scope down through the spark plug and saw that it had aftermarket pistons. They look higher comp. We could see there was a number on the butterfly, the throttle body. I'm assuming it's been ported out a bit, so it all pretty much confirms it. Yeah, the work, you can hear that it's got a cam. So it's not the 170 monster that I was told about, but I never really thought it was going to be that. But you know, 101 horsepower and 106, that's a fun little bike. So yeah, we'll get her off and get her loaded back in and see what we're going to do next with it. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since I've done any work on the street bob. I was waiting on the exhaust, what I had organised with that. So yeah, basically what I did, took the old ones off and they had some dents in them, so I just got stuck in them with a ball peen hammer and got the dents out as best I could. And then anything that was left that wasn't looking that flash afterwards, I got into them and got them all smooth again, and then Cerakoted them all black. I mean, the pipes were basically the only chrome thing on the bike. So yeah, look, that's where one of the sections was. It was dented. It's not perfect, but like for what they were and the effort and cost and stuff involved, I'm pretty happy with these. So we'll throw them on and that's pretty much it. We're going to be ready to ride, so bang these on and go for a spin. Look, I don't think anyone's going to try and fight me down the pub for saying they look much better black than they did chrome. Yeah, I'm stoked with how they look. So that being done, that was the last thing. Bang a plate on it and get this thing out for its first sting. Well, here ends the journey of, for me anyway, of the 170 horsepower mystery bike.
Well, well, if it isn't our old friend.
101 horsepower. I've pretty much finished doing everything I'm going to do with this. Yeah, it's come up looking a treat. The Panther mica paint on this, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but you can see that green fleck in it and it looks unreal. It still has that classic black Harley look that everyone loves. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. We learned a few things on the way. We definitely had some interesting information and found out some stuff, and yeah, seems, I don't know, I think everything was tight on it, but somewhere 69 horsepower just dropped out and disappeared. But no, it's been a fun one. Definitely not as involved as my deluxe build, thankfully, because that one nearly broke me a couple of times. But yeah, it's pretty cool for the sort of bike it is. Look, it's not really my style. I enjoy building it, but I'm probably going to put it up for sale in the next couple of days. And someone who appreciates this type of bike will have a lot of fun with it, I think. Ride's really nice. Rides like it's got 101 horsepower, which is about right. But yeah, goes good, look cool. What more can you want out of a Harley? Anyway, that'll about do it for this build. Yeah, the 170 horsepower Harley. There it is. Yeah, that's it for this one. If you are enjoying these videos, I've got a couple more that I'm going to do, so like, subscribe, give us a comment, help grow the channel, that'd be good. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys, catch ya.